Insurance companies to deal with claims for flood damage as quickly as possible. Insurance companies say they're pulling out all the stops to help. In most cases, though, they're also asking people who've been affected to call premium rate phone lines to make claims, costing up to 41 pence a minute. Here's Sky's David Bowden.
A week ago, when I walked into Jane and Andy Davison's house in Wraysbury, it was under several inches of water, and Jane was finding it hard to contain her emotions.
I just want to cry. I just want to cry. It's just...
Now the water has gone and the clean-up's begun.
It's pretty much all disappeared apart from some soggy patches in the garden, yeah.
And left you with
and some soggy patches in the house, clearly.
But the Davisons will have to pick up the bill themselves after their contents insurance company pulled the plug on their flood cover weeks before the water came in and refused to budge.
I had that very conversation and said, well, what extra is it going to cost me to include flood insurance? And they said, you're not understanding, Mr. Davison. We're not prepared to put flood risk on your policy.
Did they say why?
Postcode.
Even those who have got insurance, like Farmer Mike Dennis in Somerset, who's never been flooded even now, are feeling the insurance pinch.
Our insurance, which had been placed with the same insurance company for 10 years with no claim, suddenly encouraged a 350% increase on premium quote and an alleged £10,000 flood damage excess.
And the leader of the opposition has waded in as he toured the West Country.
The government has to force the insurance industry to set a clear standard for people having their temporary expenses covered and for how quickly they can expect to get the help so they can get back into their homes.
All of which adds to the pressure on the insurance industry heads summoned to Whitehall and urged to do the right thing for their customers and agreeing to meet again on a regular basis.
We must make sure that we do this well because the repairs have to be properly delivered and they have to be sustainable for the quality of life for people in their homes in the future.
This time last week, this entire street, like thousands more up and down the Thames Valley, was completely flooded. Now the water's gone, but the problems persist. Even if you are insured, you need an assessor to come round and quickly before you can get into your home, start cleaning it up and get on with your life. For now, though, Andy Davison has no option but to clean up himself. At least he's not waiting for an insurance assessor to tell him what to do. David Bowden, Sky News, in the Thames Valley.
Joining me now here at the Gherkin is David Williams, who's the Managing Director of Underwriting for AXA Insurance, who attended today's meeting. I think we saw you briefly, David, in the pictures there. Let's speak first of all about the claims you've had. 21,000 from your customers so far.
Storm and flood claims since the start of December.
OK, have they all been phoning premium rate?
No, not at all. That was one of the things that the government raised today because they'd had concerns about premium rate calls. I think it's something that's been quite common within businesses in the UK generally. They mentioned that the Environment Agency on one of their helplines had a premium rate call. They've changed that now. Our main claim number is not a premium rate call. But we will have some across the business.
Because people have lost their landlines in some instances, haven't they? They've got mobile phones.
Absolutely. One of the things that we gave an undertaking today to the government was that all insurers will look at their policy with regard to phones and get these.
And it will not cost your customers a penny to make the claim.
The thing that was being suggested today was there are multiple ways to submit claims. You can do it over telephone, you can do it by email, things like that, and ask for a call back. So then you're not paying anything at all. Get your insurance company to ring you back.
It's not quite a promise, but I want to move on because we haven't got very much time. Now, you've 21,000 claims. This must be a nightmare. You are being swamped now, aren't you?
No, absolutely not. As we said today, the event, whilst a terrible event, at this point in time is much smaller than 2007. We have surge plans in place. We transfer staff from other departments to be able to deal with these things. The insurance industry as a whole has moved an extra 1,800 staff to the front line to be dealing with these claims. So at this point in time, we're not swamped. We're doing what we do on an everyday basis, and we're doing it quite well.
Given the volume of claims that are being made, I mean, it must be a real challenge to make sure those claims are legitimate. But you say you're confident you're doing precisely that. And I'm ever so sorry, David, because of events in Kiev, we're going to have to leave it there. David Williams, Managing Director of Underwriting at AXA Insurance, thank you very much for coming and giving us some insight into the sort of work that you and your colleagues